Alright, making you guys this video today for your low back pain, specifically when it's from sitting too long and you get up and you have low back pain, or if you have a sort of an imbalance where one side of your low back is knotted up. So usually people usually point right here, and there's either one on one side or one on both sides. There's a bump you can feel yourself pushing over, and it's tender and it's sore. So this is for you guys. There's 4 steps. So I might have made some videos working on this before, but this one's putting them all together. So we're going to start releasing the hip flexors. Hip flexors reciprocally inhibit the glutes. So often what happens is we sit for a long time, our glutes get turned off, our hips shift forward, which pulls the origin insertion of the glutes away from each other, so they end up knotting up because they can't fire to pull the bone back. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of that inhibition first. So we're going to release the hip flexors, then we're going to release your quad, because sometimes your quad's on the front of your pelvis. So sometimes right up here, where your quad's attached to your hip, it's pulling them down. So another thing that would inhibit your glutes. So then we're going to release those. After we release those, we're going to then release that knot in the glutes, and then it's going to stay released because it's not being inhibited anymore and pulled around. And then we're going to do the last one. We're going to activate the glutes and get them firing again. So try this out, and it should work really well. So first one we'll do is the hip flexors. It's a lot of people do this when they have low back pain, and it works really well. So you're going to go on a flat surface, and you're going to go face down, straight in front of you, as hard as you can. And you're really going to try to hold that pose. So squeezing the glutes, squeezing the legs together, and pushing the pelvis down into the table and looking forward. And you're going to hold that for a good 2 to 3 minutes. And if you don't feel much of a stretch, what you're going to do is you're going to take it to the next level and go up on your palms. And just make sure you're really trying to keep that pelvis pushed into the table, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the legs together. Again, same thing, hold it for 2 to 3 minutes. And you might want to do it a couple times until it feels nicely loosened up. And then what you're going to do is a quad stretch. So I think for most people, the best way to do this guy is lying down. So I'm going to use a towel. You can use a towel too. So what you're going to do is you're going to go face down, and you're going to this guy around my ankle, and you're going to pull this guy as close to your butt as you can. You want to get it to touch your butt. And some people, what will happen is your leg will internally rotate a lot, and it'll take some of the stretch away. So I want you to try to keep it sort of in line with your leg underneath, like you're pinching something in the back of your knee. And yeah, so just hold that guy for 2 minutes and repeat 3 times, and that should loosen everything up for you. So now at this point, your hips should be loosened up. So that tension that's causing the glute to knot up is gone, but the knot's still there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a release for the glute. So I'll show you a way to start off, and then a more advanced release that really works really well. So assuming we're releasing this glute on this side, we're just going to start. First one, you're going to put your knee to your chest, and again, you're just going to hold that for 2 to 3 minutes, and then what you're going to do is you're going to pull it across. So what you do is you put your arm out to the side, and then you pull your leg across and over. You're going to hold that for 2 to 3 minutes and repeat 3 times. And then the real best stretch is an elevated pigeon pose. So what that means is, let me just take my shoe. You're going to put your leg on an elevated surface, and then what you're going to do is you're going to drop your weight down behind you, and you're going to reach above your knee, and you're going to hold that for 2 minutes. And because your sciatic nerve's under this muscle, it's really not a pleasant stretch. So you really feel it. It's more painful than most stretches. But if you hold it, what'll happen is when you go to get up and release it and put your body weight on it, the knot will disappear. So you got to do a nice long hold. Usually it works after 1 2-minute hold. If it doesn't work after the first one, do it again and see if you get some more relief. If it's feeling worse after you do it, obviously discontinue. You got to listen to your body. But that really works well. And then the last thing we're going to do is some glute activation. So the best way to do this guy, just lower the table a little bit. So the best way to do this guy is get something behind you. So I think a couch is usually a good idea. Make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. So what you want to do is get your knees. Oh, I still can't see. Hold on. There we go. You want to get your knees to 90 degrees, bend, and you rest on your elbows. And what you want to do is push your pelvis up into the ceiling. So it's just like this. Pushing up, relax, push up, squeeze those glutes, and come back down. And push up, squeeze the glutes, and come back down. And another way you can also put a plate on your lap. So if you have a weight, you can always put it there. It can just give you a little bit more resistance. And if that one isn't fun for you, you can just do it on a flat surface, and it's a half bridge. So you're just going to push the pelvis up into the sky, and you're going to repeat that like 30 times. And you really squeeze those glutes, and you should feel it right where those knots were. And that's getting the glutes reactivated. And then I think that should nail all of the aspects of your low back pain. So again, start with the hip flexor, then the quads, then the glute release, then the glute activation. And it really works well for people, so try it out, see if it works for you. Let me know in the comments below. Follow me on social media in the links below, and have a